Have you ever met someone so dumb you thought they were playing a prank on you? I had 3 boxes of books in my trunk that needed to make it to my 3rd floor apartment. Nothing complicated. 3 boxes, 1 buddy to help, 20 minutes tops. My friend Dylan had offered earlier in the week, so I figured it'd be quick work. Dylan actually showed up on time, which should have been my first red flag. He's never early for anything. Still, I stayed optimistic. I popped the trunk, pointed directly at the 3 boxes stacked neatly next to my spare tire, and said, "Grab those boxes and bring them upstairs to 3B. Crystal clear instructions, or so I thought. 10 minutes later, Dylan shows up at my apartment door holding my rubber floor mat. No boxes, just a mat. I stared at him. "Why did you bring me this?" He held it up proudly. "You said to grab stuff from the trunk and bring it inside. This was in the trunk." I blinked. "I said the boxes. The 3 boxes I literally pointed at." "Oh," he said, looking confused. "You should have been more specific." More specific? I walked him back to the car, pointed at the boxes again. "These boxes. These 3 boxes right here. Bring them upstairs." He nodded like it finally clicked. I felt relief. Maybe that was just a hiccup. 20 minutes pass. I start wondering if he fell down the stairs when he finally reappears, holding 3 cardboard lids. Just the tops. No bottoms. No books. "Here you go," he said, smiling like he'd just solved world hunger. I stared at the lids. "Dylan, where are the actual boxes?" He shrugged. "Those looked heavy. I figured you just needed the tops since they're lighter." My books were now scattered across the trunk because removing the lids dumped everything everywhere. I had to take a deep breath to keep from exploding. "The books are literally all over the place now," I explained. His eyes went wide. "Oh, want me to go get them?" At this point, I was convinced he was either pranking me or running on a completely different operating system than the rest of humanity. But I needed those books upstairs, so I gave him the simplest instructions possible. Bring the boxes, with the books still inside, to my apartment, 3B. 40 minutes later, I heard shouting in the hallway. I opened my door to find Dylan standing outside 3A, my elderly neighbor's apartment, trying to shove one of my boxes through her doorway while she screamed at him in a bathrobe. "Sir, this is not your apartment," Mrs. Henderson yelled. I rushed over. "Dylan, what are you doing?" He looked at me, still trying to wedge the box past her. "You said bring it to your apartment. This one looked just like yours." "My apartment is 3B, the letter B, different from the letter A." Mrs. Henderson glared at me like this was somehow my fault. "Your friend has been trying to break into my home for 10 minutes. Dylan froze, then asked in complete seriousness, "Wait, so there's a difference between A and B?" I thought my brain was going to short circuit. Mrs. Henderson threatened to call the cops, and Dylan stood there squinting at the door numbers like he was seeing them for the first time. That was the moment it hit me. This wasn't an elaborate prank. Dylan was dead serious. He was out here living life without a functional understanding of letters. The alphabet to him was just decoration. I spent the next 2 hours hauling all 3 boxes myself, while Dylan sat on my couch asking questions like, "So, are the letters on apartment doors always important?" By the time I finished, I was sweating through my shirt, and Mrs. Henderson had probably written me out of her will. Dylan, on the other hand, was sipping a soda and asking if I needed help with anything else. Every now and then, he still texts me, "Need a hand moving something?" And I always answer the same way, no, because as much as I enjoy chaos, I don't think my neighbors or my floor mats could survive round 2.